Hello, I'm Chris. I'm a KMP developer. Tech support's coming out for that on Tuesday. And today we're going to be reviewing some more of the Cloud View or Cloud Cover. Cloud View is the first name of the app. Cloud Cover USA app. And I forgot to show the iOS version running here. It's the same program as in the Android. Does exactly the same thing. Works exactly the same way, does all the same stuff and use the same, even the same libraries. So it's actually the same exact app. There's like no differences. It has the same caching things going on, the same, everything's the same. I forgot. I want to shut this down because it's the simulator does take a lot of processor. And here's the desktop app running. Again, it's just the same exact app. Looks a little different here because I added some stuff to make it for just to see if I could change how it looks on desktop a little bit at runtime. So I did that, and I added these buttons that only show up on the desktop version. You zoom in and zoom out because you don't have the pinch. For some reason, pinching is different vertical because it's actually running in a Java. I think it's running in a Java Swing component. So yeah, so that's how that works. And I ran them both right here from this menu. I ran the iOS one from right here. Just hit the play button, and the Compose app run, which is inside. Where is it in here? It's inside here. Compose app run. Actually, this is one of the things that's very strange is that Android Studio doesn't quite support desktop fully. It says task not built, but the task has definitely been built. It doesn't show up here properly. So these are the run configurations that I've saved. So those show up, but the actual full list of tasks doesn't show up for some reason. Now on IntelliJ, you open up IntelliJ Community Edition, works fine. So that's something you should know. It's still alpha. This stuff is still alpha, so can't expect it to be perfect. It's amazing it works as much as it does. Also, by the way, you can debug your Kotlin side of your iOS app here just by hitting this debug button. A lot of people don't know that you can actually debug your Kotlin Compose app from right inside the IDE, the Android Studio IDE. Xcode, you can only debug the Swift stuff in Xcode side, but Android Studio lets you debug everything but the Swift. So that's interesting. All right, so what I had to do to publish this thing to I learned a lot trying to publish this to the macOS store. This is like my third app I tried to put into the Apple store. They're a little bit more strict than the Play Store, the Google's Play Store. But you have to set this section up here in the build.gradle.compose. This this section here to set this thing up for macOS. And for some reason, it's in the desktop section, but this is how it works. When you want to publish an iOS app uh, to the desktop stuff, you have to do all this stuff here, which the signing notarization doesn't quite work properly for desktop. So you can use this as a guide. It'll get you all the way through. It'll actually even upload it to the store. But when it comes back down, the libraries don't work. And there was a couple entitlements that I had to use for just to get the KTOR stuff working. So for this library here, let's go here. This stuff here, this KTOR stuff. The entitlements you have to add is this network stuff here. So if you're going to add entitlements for that, there's a whole list of instructions you have to do. It doesn't talk about this. So if you go to the JetBrains, if you want to publish to iOS, the instructions are pretty good, but it doesn't talk about this. This I had to figure out, and these are just the plain old runtime files, the example files that came from JetBrains. So that was a little weird little gotcha. They're probably gonna fix this thing so you can deliver it to the macOS desktop to the macOS side, but they're gonna have to talk about how to get these libraries. So I did a bug report about this, so they know about it. If it'll be fixed, who knows? And here's the stuff I had to set up for the web view. So I tried to go like, is it the VLC player that's causing this issues? No. So I tried the web view. It's the same. It's the same issue. Um, but if you target just for iOS, like here, that's the iOS dependencies here, uh, which uses the KTOR web view here, but I didn't use that in this thing. I just used the video players, the normal iOS and desktop video players. So you can see how I did that in this app. Um, yeah, I would avoid the VLCJ for right now. I tried the JS, the JavaScript target. Everything works. It actually shows up in the compose like a right where the window. But for some reason, this Coil 3 library is not allowing me to load the images. So I tried a bunch of different tests. You'll see them here, and maybe one of you guys can figure this out. What the problem is, but if I try and serve it from my own place, from my own, like from where it's being served, like if I deploy it to GitHub Pages, and the image is in GitHub in my repo, it won't see it. But if it loads an image from one of these image sites, it'll load that image just fine. So it's really strange. I don't know what's going on. Wait, no. If it's in my own domain in my GitHub Pages, it'll see it. But if it's in any other domain like the SSEC, the same file, it won't recognize it. So this some sort of CORS issue going on with the image requests here. And I tried to mess with it here with its headers, but it seems to be a CORS issue because they're using fetch underneath the hood to do the network request from the browser. So there's some configuration issue there, and I don't know what it is, but that's where I get stuck. Is for loading images here. Now I could fix it by doing some sort of server that uploads the SSE files, copies them to my local server, and serve them locally. That could be a workaround. I don't know what else, or I could just wait. I did not do a bug report on this because I don't know if it's even if it might be a skill issue on my part. That I just don't know how to set it up properly. So I know it kind of works, but eh. So the JavaScript target, I'll leave it in there as an exercise if you want to go in there and mess with getting this image loading to work because everything else works fine, which is kind of exciting. That's why I thought using that other image library, this one right here. Anyway, I talked about it in the last video. You'll know how it is. Let's see. Okay. Oh yeah. So the privacy. So I was building this thing, this whole privacy thing changed. This rule changed, where you had to add this little privacy info um, configuration file. It's privacy info, and it was a new requirement by Apple, and you have to add all these little information items here about these different API types for your file stamp, your disk space, and it won't even let you. By now, by the time you see this, it won't even let you add apps to the App Store without this file here, this privacy file. And there's a lot of discussion about how to set this up, where to put it in, and the recommendation was to use this script here to add it, and I was like, I don't know if I really need that. So all I did was I dug through stuff. I'm not an iOS developer. I just started doing iOS last year, uh, and it's only because of Kotlin multi-platform and KMM and KMP. That's the only reason I got into it. Because before that, I was like, this is too daunting. There's too much stuff. And also, GitHub Copilot allows you to go back and forth between these things a lot easier. Once you know one very well and kind of know what's possible, you can or know what to look for. It's actually not. It's GitHub Copilot's great for that. Anything more, I don't. It's not that great. But anyway, so I just dragged it over here to this copy bundle build phase, this build phase step, copy bundle resources, and I just put that file right here. This is not documented anywhere. I hope they do document this. I added it to the bug report about this. But if you add it like this, if you just drag it over here and put it in the copy bundle step, it works fine. As long as these privacy things are all set up properly. I didn't know I had to put a nutrition label type Maybe do that. This nutrition label type 0 items for a cloud app. Okay, whatever. These things, these labels don't really make these words don't make a lot of sense. But anyway, this is an example. You can check it out. So if you have problems with trying to get it past the privacy thing at Apple, that's what you need to do. I did not use this, as you can see. I did not use it, and yeah, that's like about it for right now for this project. I might do one more update on it, but if I change out this image loader here, I don't know. I'm probably gonna move on to another project. I just wanted to get this privacy thing working and image loading, see if I could do animations. That was the whole reason I did this. I did this little app. So and replace an older version that was about 10 years old that actually still works amazingly and uses the same as SEC database, data information, satellite data. Anyway, all right. I'm Chris. This is the Cloud Cover USA 2 app and some of the little gotchas I got along the way. All right. I'll talk to you soon.